A pleasant day to everyone. For this lesson, we're going to talk about the career planning. Under this, you should be able to identify the key steps in successful career planning. Second, you can also clarify your work style personality. Third, analyze the financial and legal aspect of employment. And for the fourth one, practice effective employment search strategy. Having a career planning can help you identify an employment pathway that align your interests and abilities with the task expected and one that supports your prepared lifestyle. You might take the job primarily to earn income when you start looking for employment positions and your career path. So you need to consider also the income, of course, but you also keep in mind opportunities for continued training, personal growth, and advancement. We all know that the career that suits you will give you opportunities to display your abilities and jobs you find satisfying while providing balance between work and your personal life. Now, the career planning and the financial planning go hand by hand. You can advance very far in planning your personal life without also planning a career that will pay you adequately. Career planning doesn't stop when you take your first career job. Rather, career planning is a vibrant process that lasts throughout your life. Every time your life circumstances change, you will likely reconsider your career. But first, you have to start as you plan your career. You need to perform several steps that you should take care to carry each step out of the best of your ability. Why? Because your actions and the impression you make upon prospective employers will affect the probability of getting a good job in your field that satisfies your interests and provides an income to meet your financial needs. The time and effort you put in your career planning effort will affect how much income you earn and how far you advance in your career. So now, let's take a look about the steps. First, create your career goal and plan. The workplace has changed dramatically. Why? Because people used to take a single job and retain at the same company until they retire. Now, people change job 5 to 10 times during their working years. You are not likely to remain with one employer a lifetime, let alone 10 years. You probably will completely change career 2 or 3 times. Thinking about the career goals help you focus on what you want to do for living. A career goal can be a specific job. Example, be an accountant, be a human resource, or whatever the job that you are pursuing to, or particularly field of work, example in healthcare, communications, construction, accounting firm, and so on. It helps guide you to do the kind of work you want in life rather than drift from job to job. Formulating a career goal requires thinking about your interests, skills, and experiences and learning about different careers and employment trends. The process of establishing a career goal motivates you to consider career possibility that you may not have thought of otherwise. To create a career goal, explore the jobs, careers, and trends in the employment marketplace that fit your interests and skills. You can also ask people about careers. You can also search about the educational requirements. The career plan identifies employments that interest you, fits on your abilities, skills, work style, and even your lifestyle, and provides strategic guidance to help you reach your career goals. So in short, whatever your goal is, either that is short, medium, or long-term goal, as well as your future education and work-related experience that will serve to advance your career interests. And then next is clarify your interests. Your interests are topics and activities about which you have feelings of curiosity or concern. Interests engage or arouse your attention. They reflect what you'd like to do. Interests, including occupational interests, are likely to vary over time. You might also consider making a list of your top 10 interests. On the list will probably be something you enjoy but have not done recently because of conflicting interests and alternative claims on your time. You cannot pursue all your interests. It is important in your career planning to evaluate your interests. If you plan your career with your interests in mind, you will also increase the likelihood of career satisfaction. Interest inventories are measures that assess you in assessing and profiling the interests and activities that give satisfaction to you. They can also compare how your interests are similar or dissimilar to the interests of people successfully employed in various occupations. The theory behind this interest inventory is that individuals with similar interests are often attracted to the same kind of work. These inventories can help you identify possible career goals that match your strongest personal interests. The strong interest inventory assessment is considered by many to be the gold standard of career exploration tools. The opportunity to take one or more interest inventory assessment, usually for free or at a nominal cost. Next, you can also review your ability, experiences, and educations. Why? Because this is the key step in career planning. The purpose is for you to see how well they match up with your career related interests. Now, let's talk about your ability. Your professional abilities are the qualities that allow you to perform physically, mentally, artistically, mechanically, or financially job related tasks. Most of us think of ability as a word describing how well we do something, a proficiency, a dexterity, or technique, particularly one requiring use of the mind, hands, or body. Other examples of abilities include being skilled in working with people or being able to easily meet the public and being good at persuading people. Employee survey indicate that the single most important ability needed for career success in the 21st century is computer skills. Also, 30 highly ranked are communication skills and honesty, integrity, considering making a list of your top ability. Aptitudes are the natural abilities and talent that people possess. Aptitudes suggest that you have a tendency or inclination to learn and develop certain skills or ability. Are you good with numbers? Do you find public speaking easily to do? Do you enjoy problem solvings? Or what are your natural talents? Consider making lists to your top 10 aptitudes. Being a college student can have you somehow a part-time job experience. You need to review your experiences in a steps in career planning. You need to evaluate what you have been doing in your life, including jobs and internships, participation in student organization and community and church group, leadership on school project, and volunteer activities. This still in college can enhance your resume by learning as much as possible in participating in clubs and other students organizations. So including the volunteering and also the communities and the campus project. So you need to be involved in research project and attending some of the off-campus professional meeting in your major. Also, you need to have academic advisor. Why? Because it can provide you suggestion. Employers want workers with good writing and public speaking talent, strong computer skills, fluently in second language, and an understanding of global commerce and industry. Experiences that use and develop these traits are the big plus for job seekers. And for the last is the education and professional. Training going to college is excellent preparation for your career and in your life, but college may not have provided you with all the skills and ability to be successful employed. A review of your abilities, experiences, and education may suggest you need to seek additional education and professional training. And then for the fourth steps we have here, identify your values. Thinking about and discovering what you want out of life gives you guidance for what to do to lead a satisfying life. Understanding yourself enables you to select a career path that best suits you. This is the key step in the career planning. Why? Because values are the principles, or standards, or the qualities considered worthwhile or desirable. Values provide the basis of decision about how you live, serving as a guide so we can use to direct our action. For something to be valued, it must be prized, publicly affirmed, chosen from alternatives, and act upon repeatedly and consistently. Values are not right or wrong, or true or false. They are personal preferences. People may place value on family, friends, helping others, religious commitment, securities, honesty, pleasure, good health, material possession, financial achievement, and satisfying career. Example of conflicting values are family versus friend, stability versus adventure, religious beliefs versus action, and work versus leisure. When you make important decisions, you might be wise to think carefully to clarify your values before taking action. Consider making a list on your 10 most important values. And then, for our fifth step, we have here consider costs, benefits, and lifestyle trade-offs. Now, once we talk about costs and benefits, when making career choices, you must weigh the benefits against the cost. The benefit could include the big salary, likelihood of personal growth and job advancement, and high job satisfaction. For some, the pluses might include the psychic benefit of a privileged job with a high income. The cost might include living in a less desirable geographic area and climate, being too far from friends and family, sitting at the desk all day, working long hours, and doing too much travel. In terms of lifestyle and trade-offs, when considering any career, think about what lifestyle or social and cultural factors are important to you. For example, if access to big name live entertainment or CU and artistic activities is important, then working and living in a rural area may not be appropriate. If you like to visit new places, you may choose a career that involves frequent travel. Considering the following lifestyle option in your decision making, it's either the rural or urban setting ba yan, or close or far from your work, own or rent housing, city or suburban life, warm or cold climates, near or far from your relatives, constant or variable climate. So in addition, employees in a certain career provide more support for working therein. Employers subsidize childcare as well as flexible work hours might be available at a family-friendly workplace. These are all quality of life issue. Your quality of life, the challenges are greater for dual career couples because they must communicate effectively when considering the impact of one person's career decision on the others. Right now, you may not be focused on school, graduating, or getting a good job, but also you need to find out where the job will be in the future. The job market today is rapidly changing, a result of economic downturns, corporate restructuring, downsizing, and globalization, and the career path you are considering now may not continue to be a good choice in the years ahead. For sixth step, align yourself with tomorrow's employment trends. Right now, you may not be focused on school or graduating or getting a good job, but you also need to find out where the job will be in the future. The job market today is rapidly changing as a result of economic downturn, corporate restructuring, downsizing, and globalization, and the career path you are considering now may not continue to be a good choice in the years ahead. And then, for the next step, we have to take advantage of networking. Professional networking is the process of making and using contact such as individuals, groups, or institutions to obtain and exchange information in career planning. Every person you know or meet is a possible useful contact. Networking requires that you make a conscious effort to use people you know and meet to maximize your job search process. Networking involves utilizing your social contacts, taking advantage of casual meetings, and asking for personal referrals. Most of your contacts will not be able to hire you, but they could refer you to the person who can, or they may be able to give you useful information about your potential employer. Maintain a continually growing list of people who are family, neighbors, friends, college, associates, or co-workers, previous supervisor, teachers, professors, alumni, business contacts, and other, through civic and community organizations such as churches and business and social groups. Take note also that where your contacts work and what types of job they have. And for the eighth step, you have the target preferred employers. Answering classified job advertisement probably is not the best way to start a career unless you are lucky and the job listed is actually in your field of interest. A key step in your career search process is to think about both the industry in which you will prepare employment and which employers might best for you. And for the last step, we have here that you need to be willing to change career goals and plan. Remember that your career plan should be realistic and flexible. Your career interests and goals will change over time, especially as you continue your education, gain work experience, and see how your friends fare with their jobs and avocations. Assessing yourself and your career plans every few years is important to achieving success in your working life. Why? Because honestly speaking, it will help you, particularly in your interests involved. Your work's experiences should be one of your abilities and skills. Learning new skills on the job is common. And if it's not happening in the job, move on and change your employers, and perhaps you can also change your career. Now, let's talk about the financial and legal aspect of employment. First, compare salary and living costs in different cities. So obviously, we have different lifestyle. We have different cost of living in different area here in the Philippines. So don't compare. Don't compare the salary of what they receive on your salary also. Second, place values on employee benefit. Employee benefits are important. Why? Because this kind of benefits are the forms of remuneration provided by our employer that can result that we are having pay out of pocket money for a certain expenses. Example nito, yung mga the paid vacation, the healthcare, the paid sick leave, the childcare, even the tuition reimbursement, and financial planning services. And then for the last, know your legal employment rights. You have legal rights both during the hiring process and after you are hired. When selecting employees, employers may not discriminate based on the gender, race, color, national origin, age, marital status, pregnancy, or mental or physical disability. Laws in many countries also prohibited discrimination against gays and lesbians in hiring process. So once hired, you have many rights. Employers must do the following. They need to pay you minimum wage, provide unemployment insurance, provide workers' compensation benefit to any employee who is injured or becomes ill on the job. They also need to pay some of the mandatory contribution asked from the government. Once you hire, the law requires that hourly employees be paid overtime for extra hours put in the beyond the standard of 40 hours a week. In addition, a woman cannot be forced to go to the maternity leave before she wants to do so. If she does choose to take a leave, you have the right not to be unfairly discriminated against or harassed and to be employed in the safe workplace. Next, how to have an effective employment search strategy. Once you have undertaken some career planning, you will want to get a job in your preferred career field. This is a process that takes much effort. A successful job search might require 25 to 30 hours per week of your time. Effective research strategies follow. First, you need to assemble your resume. The internet is valuable resources for you in all aspects of your career planning, including preparing your resume. A resume is a summary record of your education, training, experience, and other qualifications. It is also often submitted with a job application. Your resume, usually 1 or 2 pages in length, should be carefully written and contain zero errors or inconsistency in message, content, and the appearance. The primary function is to provide a basis of screening people out of contention for job. When you supply a resume, you are providing documentation for some kind of subjective evaluation against unknown criteria. Large employers, recruiters, and local and national websites screen resumes, and computer software is frequently used to scan them instead of human. They use some of the buzzwords from the job description, such as Microsoft Office, so the screening process picks them up. Next, identify job opportunities. The next step is definitely to identify whatever the opportunity that you can have that can fit your skills. To provide the opportunities for advancement in your career, you can use the different resources, and you can also keep track of your job search progress. Where can you identify your job opportunity? It can be in career fair, classified advertisement, employment agency, or even in the internet. Next, write an effective cover letter. A cover letter is an introduction sent to your prospective employer designed to express your interest in obtaining an interview. The cover letter should be specifically written for each position for which you are applying. Expand upon a couple of details from your resume, explaining how your talent and experience can benefit the employer. Communicate your enthusiasm for the job when appropriate. Mention a networking contact. Address your cover letter written on high quality paper to a specific person and request a brief meeting. If the hiring manager's name is not in the job announcement, telephone the employer and speak with the receptionist in your correct department. Be candid about your reason for needing a specific person's name. Your letter should try to secure a face-to-face meeting to obtain more information and gather impression. End the letter with a sentence stating that you will be telephoning or email within 2 weeks to reassert your interest in the position. And for the fourth one, you can obtain strong reference letter. College students ask you to often simply ask a couple of your professor. They like to write them a letter of recommendation. Your professor typically give you a best judgment in this letter. This may include identifying some students' weaknesses as well as your strength. Your letter from your instructor who does not know them will also risk receiving a blank, boilerplate, or average kind of reference. Always provide a resume to your professor from whom you request a letter. Next, apply. You can get a job without applying for it. Personalize your cover letter and resume to fit the specific job of interest. Send it to the prospective employer. Many large employers prefer to receive job inquiries via the internet, often through their website. If so, follow the application instruction to the letter. Other employers prefer a written letter and resume. It's often smart to do both. If you have not received a response to a job inquiry within 2 or 3 weeks, send a follow-up inquiry by adding a brief new opening sentence to your cover letter and send the revised letter with your resume. When employers express interest in you as their prospective employee, they may request that you complete their official job application form. Be accurate in your responses. And then, interview for success. The interview is the single most important part of your search of employment. A job interview is a formal meeting to discuss an individual's job qualifications and sustainability for an employment position. When you are invited for the interview, be prepared. You need to do some research before the interview, confide revealing personal history, prepare questions to ask the interviewer, prepare responses for anticipated interview questions. You can also create positive responses to negative questions. After the interview, evaluate it and send a thank you note. And for the last, negotiate and accept the job. Wait until after the job has been firmly offered discuss salary. Do not be the one who first to give a definite amount of your salary. Ask for the salary range for the position. Now, in making your money habits and your career planning, you really need to take time. You really need to take time in planning and make an effort required to obtain employment in your career. You also need to identify your career planning values and leave them in your selection of jobs and in your performance at work. Do not miss an opportunity to continually enhance your education and professional training. You need also to understand your prepared work style personality. And for the last, you need to practice effective employment search strategy, especially interviewing skills. Have a nice day, everyone. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.